A very good afternoon to all. Namaste. Minasan konnichiwa. So we have gathered here on the International Day of Forests. It's my proud privilege to welcome to this event Honorable Vice Minister Mr. Sujawa Yutaka-san. Welcome, sir, and thank you so much for sparing time for this event and enlightening your wisdom and helping us in collaborate more on the area which is very important for both the countries. I welcome our Deputy Chief of Mission, Sri Mayank Joshi ji, to this event. In absentia, I welcome Sri Anup Singh, who has arrived in Tokyo, is on the way to the auditorium. I welcome Madam CN Satkura, Executive Director, ITTO, and I extend my hearty welcome to Mr. Kaname Ikeda-san, President Restec, for his kind time and cooperating with us in this very important area and spending a lot of time. I also welcome Mr. Goseki Kazuhiro, was a senior policy analyst from Ministry of Agriculture and Forestry and Fisheries, MAF. We are going to work together in that area, and I think we have few proposals to work together. So your presence is really valuable here today. And I welcome participants, though less in number, but I firmly believe that here who are very much interested in this theme and would like to take this call forward of application of geospatial technology in forestry and applying them to mitigate the challenges of climate change and other related issues. So I'll not take much time from here, and I request our Deputy Chief of Mission to really deliver a special address and welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Yashwant. Thank you for the welcome address. Okay. His Excellency, Mr. Matsuzawa Yutaka-san. Sorry. Ms. Shyam Satkuru, Executive Director from the International Tropic Timber Organization in Japan. Mr. Kaname Ikeda, President from Restec. Mr. Goseki Kazuhiro, Senior Policy Analyst for International Affairs from Ministry of Agriculture. I have Mr. KB Singh in Forest Service, IG, from Ministry of Environment and Forest also, I think online. Dignitaries and senior officials present today and various participants from the industry and academia. A very good afternoon to you and konnichiwa. I thank you all for joining us today at this remarkable event on the applications of geospatial technologies in forestry on an equally remarkable day of the International Day of Forests. I congratulate you all on this particular day, which is very important for us. The topic also, which the embassy has chosen with the various participants in consultation with them, is also very contemporary and very important to us, and it brings us very close to how technology is affecting us, is influencing us and informing us to live better life, as our Prime Minister has the vision of for lifestyle for environment, where we are trying to develop an ecosystem living together with the environment for a better and green future for all of us. I thank you all for contributing to make this event successful. Before I delve into the topic of the geospatial and how important it is for India and Japan, I would like to take you through a little note on India and Japan bilateral relations. As we all know, India and Japan relations are deeply rooted in history and civilizational ties. This relationship is based on shared values of democracy, freedom, respect for the rule of law, and it has evolved into a spatial, strategic, and global partnership, which was inked in 2014 by our prime ministers at that time, that is late former Prime Minister Shinzo Abe and our current Prime Minister, Honorable Shri Narendra Modi ji. We all recognize today that India-Japan partnership is vital for promoting peace, prosperity, and stability in not only the Indo-Pacific, but globally. Today, our bilateral ties extend to all possible areas of cooperation, ranging from defense and security to health, space, environment, and obviously to science and technology field. I'm happy to state that the year 2023 and now 2024 so long has been an excellent period in India-Japan relationship. We have multiple meetings at all levels, including at the level of Honorable Prime Ministers, Cabinet Ministers, and officials. We have several parliamentary dignitaries and several business delegations, and also science and technology delegations visiting Japan and vice versa. Last year was a very important year where both Japan and India held chairs of two important groups, that is G7 and G20 respectively, during which again we have a very important science and technology track, which informed us and our endeavors for global prosperity and peace. This year so far, as I mentioned, we have been maintaining and even increasing the momentum of our relations. Recently, this month, our Honorable Foreign Minister, External Affairs Minister, Dr. S. Jaishankar, had visited Japan. And we also marked the 10th anniversary of Spatial Strategic and Global Partnership. In summary, Japan stands as the fifth largest investor in India currently and plays an important role in India's economic growth story. Our economic growth partnership has also hinged upon science and technology collaborations and cooperation. We have witnessed sharing of high-end industrial technologies and also particularly in the area of automobiles, metro, that is Delhi Metro, Suzuki, history of the story of Suzuki, and now currently we are working on a landmark milestone project of high-speed railways in India, all in collaboration with Japan. Not only that, Japan is involved in various flagship projects in India in areas of infrastructure development, information and communication, digitization, energy, space, food processing, healthcare, R&D cooperation, and also in science and technology. India-Japan Science and Technology Cooperation was formalized in 1985 between the two governments. We have today a range of science and technology areas in which we are actively collaborating. We have a ministerial level joint commission and also a science and technology cooperation roadmap. An India-Japan Cooperative Science Program was initiated in 1993, and in 2022, we signed the implementation guidelines for this program. We work closely with our stakeholders, especially the Ministry of Science and Technology, Japan Science and Technology Agency, Japan Society for Promotion of Science, Ministry of Agriculture, and other various stakeholders in Japan. There are several research programs which are going on between India and Japan, and various students and research scholar exchanges through programs like Sakura Science and Hope Meetings, which are initiated and are initiatives of Japan. We also have landmark projects in science and technology, such as the High Energy Accelerator and the DIA Center, the DIA Labs, the Research Biomedicine and Bioinformatic Labs in Tsukuba. There are numerous projects like this. We also have a civil nuclear energy arrangement between India and Japan. We all understand the importance of science and technology, And here comes the importance of forests and use of technology and science in forestry. Today, we are discussing forests as an important element of climate change, decarbonization, and globally, we are coming together to grapple with solutions or to find solutions to mitigate and overcome the impact of climate change on this planet. And forests play a major role in this. To achieve the full potential of forests and harnessing the technologies, it's very important that we all work together. And that is where we today in the morning had a very important step between India and Japan, where RESTEC and our remote sensing Forest Survey Institute and Forest Survey signed a very important MOU on using geospatial technologies and remote sensing technologies. This signing of the MOU is one more instrument for working together on contemporary issues and co-development and co-deployment of these technologies. With regard to geospatial technologies, we know the level of digitization today and the importance of big data and the crucial role it will play in mapping of forests, forest resources, and developing innovative strategies. In the 2 hour or so discussions which we had in the morning, I myself found it very interesting to hear from both sides the various steps which both sides are taking, the various projects and proposals which they have, and also certain challenges which both sides face. It was a very engaging discussion, and I'm sure that the enthusiasm on both sides and the clarity of objectives on both sides, there seems to be a very, very elemental roadmap which we can come together and chart out for helping each other and collaborating with each other. I wish, in the end, all success for the celebration and deliberations on forest and innovation. That is a theme of the International Day of Forests, and the partnership of FSI in India and RESTEC in Japan for furthering the development and use of geospatial technologies. I wish all these speakers today the best and also thank them for sharing their insights, which we will be hearing in short while from now. Thank you so much for allowing me to take little more time than I was allotted. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for setting the tone of today's discussion on a very important topic. And I think you rightly pointed out that the partnership which we are developing in this area is going to go a long way. And then whole overview of India-Japan Science and Technology Cooperation. So without taking much time, I now would like to invite His Excellency Vice Minister Mr. Matsuzawa Yutaka to kindly address the participants and share his wisdom and guidance. And I think Ministry of Environment is going to be a very key ministry from Government of Japan to cooperate in the very important period when the climate change is affecting everybody. So, His Excellency, please.
Thank you. Madam Saku, Executive Director of International Tropical Timber Organization, Mr. Singh, Director General, Forest Survey of India, Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, Mr. Joshi, Deputy Chief of Mission, Embassy of India, and Mr. Ikeda, President, Remote Sensing Technology Center of Japan, and Mr. Goseki, Senior Policy Analyst for International Affairs, Ministry of Agriculture, Forestry and Fisheries. Dear participants, I would like to express my sincere congratulations on the organization of the commemorative event for the occasion of the International Day of Forest here at the Embassy of India in Tokyo. I also would like to appreciate the Government of India for providing this opportunity. Today, I would like to share some activities that Ministry of the Environment Japan undertakes for the conservation and sustainable use of biodiversity, and GOSAT, which is capable to detect increased carbon dioxide concentration caused by forest fire from the space. And I would like to describe the bilateral tie with India and the close relationship with ITTO. Mr. Hans Joachim Schellnhuber, he's a founding director of the Potsdam Institute for Climate Impact Research, and he has stated that historical wooded architectures such as Horyuji Temple in Japan, very old temple, are good example of the nature-based solutions. Japan also has high potential of using wooded materials in urban buildings in line with the cyclic and sustainable use of wood resources. Sustainable production and cyclic use of wood resources contribute not only to biodiversity conservation, but also to carbon storage and to achieving circular economy. To promote sustainable forest management, wood production, and uses, the government of Japan has established agreement with some private companies which take leading roles in using wood materials from sustainably managed forests in urban buildings in Japan. The Asia Pacific region has culture and history where people have lived in harmony with nature for a long period of time in good balance of biodiversity conservation and sustainable use. Japan, with the UNUIAS, advanced the Satoyama initiative on the occasion of CBD COP10 in Nagoya and is working together with many partners, including many organizations in India, on the initiatives which aims to promote the conservation and sustainable use of natural resources at the local level. The International Partnerships for the Satayama Initiative, or IPSI, organized its global conference in Hyderabad, India in 2012 on the occasion of CBD COP11. IPSI is an international partnership which has been composed by various organizations such as national governments, UN, and international organizations, research and educational institutions, and indigenous and local communities and other organizations. ITTO has been one of the leading steering committee members to lead the issues related to the conservation and sustainable use of forests. I would like to take this opportunity to express my sincere appreciation to ITTO's significant contribution through Madam Thakur, the Executive Director of ITTO. This initiative has accumulated good practices with ITTO for the conservation and sustainable use of local natural resources, which acted as a foundation for the Kunming-Montreal Global Biodiversity Framework. Let me take some targets of the frameworks as examples. I'm confident that the Satoyama initiative will contribute not only to Target 10, which aims to achieve the sustainable management of areas under agriculture, aquaculture, fisheries, and forestry, but also to Target 3, so-called the 30 by 30 target, which aims to conserve at least 30% of terrestrial and inland water areas and marine and coastal areas by 2030, including through enhancing OECMs. In addition, ensuring ecosystem health, including forests, through the promotion of the conservation and the sustainable use of regional natural resources by the Satoyama Initiative will also contribute to climate change, adaptation, and mitigation. Next, I would like to talk about the COMDEX. The COMDEX was launched in 2011 by UNDP as a flagship project of the Satoyama Initiative. Ever since then, over a period of more than a decade, the COMDEX has conducted many on-the-ground projects around the globe, including India, which have produced various good practices and has disseminated information on and developed an awareness of those practices in the world. It is needless to mention that making efforts at the local level is critical in conserving biodiversity. The complex places emphasis on each local area's self-sustainability. The government of Japan continued to provide support to the COMDEX through the Japan Biodiversity Fund. Moreover, based on those results, Japan pledged additional support totaling 700 million yen for the fourth phase of the COMDEX at COP15 through the second phase of the Japan Biodiversity Fund. The Ministry of Environment Japan has been operating the Greenhouse Gases Observing Satellite (GOSAT) series since 2009 and has been observed global greenhouse gas until now. In November 2023, GOSAT data was used to estimate the national anthropogenic carbon dioxide emissions in Mongolia, and the results were included in the report to United Nations by Mongolia as the validation of the inventory calculations. We also produced a good result that the result of methane emissions estimates using GOSAT data were also cited in India's report to United Nations. Thank you for India for your utilizing our GOSAT data. As a recent observation result related to forest, GOSAT-2, the second generation of the satellite, detected enhanced carbon dioxide concentration near surface due to forest fires in Australia that occurred from September 2019 to February 2020. In current GOSAT's observation capability, it could be challenging to directly observe forest absorption, which needs to capture the minute changes in concentration and wide-ranging. But we are considering combining other observation data, such as image data, to evaluate forest absorption. In Japanese fiscal year 2024, the third satellite global observing satellite for greenhouse gases and water cycle, GOSAT-GW, the third generation satellite, will launch. Previous GOSAT series observes a circular area generally at intervals of 160 km, whereas GOSAT-GW will provide surface observation covered globally without gaps. In addition, GOSAT-GW aims to enhance observation by utilizing the high-resolution mode with a target resolution of up to 1 kilometer. We hope that Japan could further strengthen our collaboration with the government of India for the implementation of the GBF to halt and reverse biodiversity loss at global, regional, and national level, including the conservation and sustainable use of forests, as well as fighting against climate change. Thank you for your kind attention.
Thank you so much, His Excellency Vice Minister Mr. Yutaka-san, for your great speech. And I think you have covered all aspects of environment management and efforts by the government of Japan in the collaborating with India and serving the need of the globe. So it was a very comprehensive, and we really thankful for this speech, which will help us in making further roadmap to work together, sir. Thank you so much for sparing time and coming here. I we have little change because Mr. Anup Singh is on the way. So I request about the order, Ms. CM Satkura-san, to kindly take the dais and podium and address us with the wisdom which you have on this particular topic. So welcome, please.
Your Excellency, Vice Ambassador for the Government of India, Mr. Joshi, Honorable Vice Minister Matsuzawa from the Ministry for the Environment, Japan, Mr. Anup Singh, not sure he's here, but perhaps in absentia, Director General Forest Survey of India, Mr. Kaname Ikeda, I'm so sorry, President of the Remote Sensing Technology Center of Japan, honorable distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, namaste, konnichiwa, and good afternoon. It is a great honor for me, on behalf of the International Tropical Timber Organization, to welcome all of you to this workshop on remote sensing application on forestry in celebration of the International Day of Forest 2024. It's an extremely important day also for the ITTO. In the same breath, may I express my deepest gratitude to the government of Japan and also the city of Yokohama for their continued generosity and full support for ITTO being hosted by the government of Japan. Mahatma Gandhi once said, "What we are doing to forests of the world is but a mirror of what we are doing to ourselves and one another." And this was a long time ago, and it's sometimes quite frightening to see that not much has changed in 2024, the year that we are sitting in right now. Tropical forests play a critical role in sustainable development and global environmental well-being, as we all know, supporting economies and livelihoods while providing essential ecosystem services, where tropical forests cover nearly 45% of global forests. However, they still face numerous challenges, including land use conflicts, climate change, and wildfires, requiring innovative solutions and enhanced forest management. May I also express my gratitude to Vice Minister Matsuzawa, because he is absolutely correct in saying that ITTO has been very closely and intensely involved in the Nagoya and Satoyama initiatives, and also in the drafting of the Aichi targets, and most recently in the Kunming-Montreal Global Biodiversity Framework. This year's theme of the International Day of Forests, Forests and Innovation, Solutions for a Sustainable World, underscores the urgency of creative forest management strategies. The rapid evolution of the forest sector, marked by technological advancements and policy reforms, emphasizes the needs for collaborative efforts to enhance forest management practices and promote sustainable use of forest resources. On this note, may I also congratulate both India and Japan for the incredible advances and progress that you have made through your continued scientific cooperation efforts. It is a type of collaboration that is incredibly intense also, if I may say, and many more countries should follow suit. Of course, there are several existing partnerships between donor governments and recipient countries, and now recipient countries are also investing in these processes in order to advance every element of what they do in terms of protecting their natural resources. ITTO, of course, is dedicated, we are fully dedicated to new approaches in tropical forestry, in partnership with member countries, where both Japan and India are our members, and a wide range of stakeholders. We recognize the growing significance of geospatial technologies, which is part of the theme of today, particularly remote sensing, in forest management, despite challenges such as varying adoption rates, cost constraints, uncertainties in the accuracy of geospatial data, which very often requires ground truthing, and many other elements that the experts are currently considering and debating. Nevertheless, their integration is crucial for effective forest resource management, including land use mapping, deforestation, forest degradation, and wood products traceability and tracking, carbon assessment, and early warning systems. ITTO's partnership with India has yielded significant progress too, I'm proud to report, evidenced by collaborative initiatives such as the Bhopal ITTO criteria and indicators for sustainable forest management, contributing to the establishment of the National Forest Certification Scheme in India. Our collaborative efforts with Japan, of course, are much too long for me to go into here. We will be here all day if we're to talk about the work and the results, the positive results that has yielded from Japan's support for the ITTO, which has spanned close to 37 years of ITTO's lifetime. ITTO actively participates in the UN Forum on Forests, and last year we supported the country-led initiative meeting on certification and forest fires held last October in Dehradun, hosted by India. In addition, ITTO is also in collaboration with the Ministry of Environment, Forests and Climate Change of India to jointly organize 2 side events on forest certification and forest fires at the upcoming session of the 19th Forum on Forests to be held in New York in early May. I am confident that today's workshop will facilitate fruitful discussions and knowledge exchange, fostering innovative approaches to remote sensing-based forest management. I further anticipate that this intellectual gathering this afternoon will catalyze enhanced partnerships and contribute to the advancement of sustainable forest management practices. I extend my sincere appreciation to the workshop organizers and the Embassy of India in Tokyo for their invaluable support. Wishing you a productive and successful event. I thank you so much and wish you a very good afternoon. Namaste and konnichiwa again. Thank you.
Thank you very much for the global view on this issue of forest and acknowledging India's effort. So thank you, ma'am, for your kind insight on the subject, and we are really benefited out of it. So as we are running a little late, I now would request Mr. Kanami Ikeda-san to kindly address the participants on this subject. Please.
Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. After very comprehensive description of the situations by previous speakers, I have very little to add on behalf of Remote Sensing Technology Center of Japan. Let me first thank the Ambassador of India, His Excellency C.B. George, and His Excellency, the Deputy Chief of Mission of the Embassy of India, Mr. Mayank Joshi, for providing us this wonderful opportunity to celebrate and collaborate the International Day of Forest. As you may be all aware, the UN General Assembly, UNGA, proclaimed 21st March as International Day of Forest in 2012. Forests are an integral part of our life and one of the main saviors of our planet. It also provides us the shelter, purified air, and also help capture the rain. We also consume large amounts of forest products. However, the alarming fact is that the health of the forest is seriously affected by anthropocentric factors and climate change. World statistics may show that in some parts, forests are increasing. However, scientific studies indicate that 70% of the world's forests lie within 1 kilometer of the forest edge. This process, called fragmentation, is one of the greatest reasons for the world's forest to shrink. Another concern is the classification of forests. Forests are classified differently in some parts of the world. For instance, even commercial timber plantations are also classified as forest. If we can have a good assessment of the true forest using remote sensing and other geospatial technologies, we will be able to get a true assessment of the state of forest around the world. Hence, the theme of the International Day of Forest this year, Forests and Innovation, is so timely, and this is the right time to discuss the technological innovations in monitoring and protecting forests. This is the reason why Remote Sensing Technology Center of Japan is part of the event, and to support governments, international agencies, and other local communities in helping them to monitoring and protecting forests. RESTEC has been engaged in monitoring forests in Japan and overseas for a very long time. We work with the Ministry of Agriculture, Forestry and Fisheries to assess forest biomass and forest health. Internationally, we work with the government of Brazil, Peru, and Congo through the Japan International Cooperation Agency, JICA, in monitoring deforestation. I believe we should extend our technological expertise to India also, especially in supporting Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change in addressing the challenges in forest management. In this regard, I'm happy to share with you that this morning, today, we are about to sign the with the Director General of Forest Survey of India, Mr. Anup Singh, a memorandum of understanding to mutually work on assessing forest health. With the advancement in space technologies, especially in Japan, we believe that the RESTEC Forest Survey of India collaboration could bring an innovative innovation in forest monitoring and forest carbon assessment. We would also like to partner with Indian geospatial industries and research institutions to develop new tools using artificial intelligence and machine learning. In a foreseeable future, there could be joint laboratories in Japan and India using the strengths of Indian ICT engineers and Japanese precision technology. We believe such a vision will come into light after we mutually engage through our collaboration and partnering with research institutions in both Japan and India. With this note, I would like to thank Mr. Anup Singh, who is coming, for accepting our invitations to come to Japan and providing us an occasion to work with the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, and especially with the forest monitoring arm of the Ministry, Forest Survey of India. I'm sure we will jointly make a good progress in our joint work. My sincere thanks to the Vice Minister of Environment, Mr. Yutaka Matsuzawa, for joining us in this way, in this very important event. We plan to support the Ministry of Environment Japan in assessing the socio-ecological protection landscape and seascape within the Satoyama initiative and support the ministry in its work to meet the requirement of the Convention on Biological Diversity and other multilateral agreements. I'm also very happy to meet Ms. Sim Sadhguru, the Executive Director of International Tropical Timber Organization, ITTO, and I want to express our invitation for working together for assessment the tropical timber and in capacity development efforts. Madam Sadhguru, please take note that we could support ITTO in building a global geospatial platform for monitoring and reporting about tropical timber. I believe such initiatives will become a game changer in high-level policy process. Finally, I'm happy to share the incentive information to Mr. Goseki Kazuhiro of Ministry of Agriculture, Forestry and Fisheries regarding our effort to support the ministry in developing J credit. We would like to expand our partnership with both MAFF and MOE in building our partnership with India in developing innovative geospatial technologies. We can all work together to make our forest better through good monitoring and incentive schemes. Let me also thank Dr. Yashwant Panwar from the Embassy of India for bringing together this program to great success. I also want to thank my colleagues at the RESTEC for their continued support and management in forestry research. Thank you and wish you all a wonderful International Forest Day. Thank you very much for your kind attention.
Thank you, Keda-san, for overview of importance of today's work, joint collaborative efforts, and details. So, Anup Singh is going to just arrive. Meantime, may I request Mr. Koseki Kazuhiro, Senior Policy Analyst from Ministry of Agriculture, Forestry and Fisheries, to kindly share his wisdom to the audience with regard to this topic. Please.
Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, and participants, good afternoon. My name is Goseki Kazuhiro, Senior Policy Analyst for International Affairs of Forestry Agency, Ministry of Agriculture, Forestry and Fisheries of Japan. On behalf of the Forestry Agency of Japan, I would like to make remarks on the occasion of the workshop on applications of geospatial technologies in forestry, held by Embassy of India, celebrating the International Day of Forest. First of all, I'd like to extend my appreciation to the Embassy of India and all of you participating today for their dedicated works on research, technology development, and technical cooperation for sustainable forest management. As you know, the United Nations General Assembly proclaimed 21st March the International Day of Forest in 2012, sorry, to celebrate and raise awareness of the importance of all types of forests. The theme of 2024 is Forest and Innovation, which aims to highlight how we can promote innovation to help the world's forests and how innovations in science and technologies are supporting sustainable forest management. Therefore, I believe that this workshop on application of geospatial technology in forestry is in line with the theme of this year. Regarding the cooperation on forest and forestry between Japan and India, the Memorandum of Cooperation was signed in December 2015 between the Director General of Forestry Agency, the Ministry of Agriculture, Forestry and Fisheries of Japan, and the Director General of Forests and Special Secretary, the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change of Government of India. The both parties had held the joint working group 4 times already, based on the Memorandum of Cooperation, and this week, the 5th joint working group has been held in India now. In addition to the meeting in New Delhi, our delegation will visit the Wildlife Institute of India in Dehradun to discuss the wildlife management and check the site of the JICA Technical Cooperation Project for natural disaster management in forest area in Uttarakhand, as well as National Forest in Rajasthan to see the site of the joint forest management and biodiversity. To the JICA Technical Cooperation Project in Uttarakhand, the Forestry Agency of Japan is dispatching 2 officials as JICA experts. I myself was also engaged in the preparation of this project when I was worked at JICA headquarters in 2014. And after the commencement of this project, I had the opportunity to introduce Japanese forest conservation works participating in the workshop held by this project in 2019. Since December 2020, the JICA Technical Cooperation Project for bamboo use promotion, such as bamboo craft in northeastern region in India, has also started. The project is implemented based on the initiative for strengthening bamboo value chain in the Northeast, signed at the 4th Act East Forum, co-hosted by Embassy of Japan in New Delhi and the Government of India in December 2019. Besides this technical cooperation project, currently 11 Japanese ODA loan projects have been implemented in India in forestry sector, including many activities and measures such as planting trees, improving livelihood of local residents, biodiversity conservation, human-wildlife conflict resolution, as well as promoting digital transformation such as improving geographical information system as an institutional strengthening in state forest department. Japanese ODA loan project on forestry sector in India have been implemented for 34 years. The first project was afforestation and pasture development project along India-Ganges Canal area in 1991. To this way, Japan and India have a long history of cooperation on forest and forestry. Last year, for the first time after COVID-19 pandemic, government officials from India visited Japan for a JICA training program, where they paid a courtesy call on executives of forestry agency, attended lectures on forest planning system and protection forest system in Japan, and exchanged opinions with persons concerned on forest and forestry, as well as our officials of forestry agency. Lectures regarding remote sensing on forest resources management and utilization of the geographical information system, global navigation satellite system were also provided in that opportunity. In terms of the theme of today's workshop on application of geospatial technologies in forestry, the forestry agency promotes to utilize forest clouds and aerial laser measurement. In Japan, each prefecture government digitizes information on forest conditions, maps, and centrally manage them by Forest GIS and others. In addition, the forestry agency promotes the use of the forest cloud so that digitized data can be used efficiently, not only by prefecture government, but also by municipalities and forest enterprises. In addition, surveying vast areas of forest requires a great deal of manpower and time, so the use of remote sensing technology is attracting attention. In Japan, aerial laser measurement and other techniques are being used to obtain highly accurate information on forest resources, etc. This information is being stored in forest clouds and other systems, and efforts are being made to open these systems for wider use. As you know, Japan was hit by a major earthquake on 1st January this year, which caused extensive damage in and around Noto Peninsula, with more than 200 people killed. Forests not only play an important role in climate change mitigation and biodiversity conservation, but also play a major role in preventing mountain disasters. This tragedy has reminded us of the importance of forests. We are very grateful to hear that a lot of messages of the sympathy to Japan have been sent from India. Thank you very much. The earthquake caused widespread mountainside collapses, mainly in the Okunoto area. The forestry agency is collaborating with the Geospatial Information Authority of Japan to conduct aerial laser surveying to understand and analyze the topographical changes in detail, which will be useful for restoration and maintenance through forest conservation measures to prevent future disasters caused by rainfall, etc. In such area where surveying from the ground is difficult, aerial photogrammetric surveying using drones as well as aerial laser measurement is increasingly being used. In addition, the use of real-time position measurement and display system using global navigation satellite system, GNSS, and other technology is enabling more accurate, faster, and safer construction works. In addition, remote sensing technology is used in international cooperation on forest sector. In collaboration with JICA and JAXA, Japan Aerospace Exploration Agency, we are implementing a JICA-JAXA tropical forest warning program to support forest resources management using satellite data of Japan. It aims to conserve forest resources in developing countries and contribute to climate change countermeasures and biodiversity conservation for tropical forests in 78 countries, including India. This program aims to improve forest governance mainly through the development and operation of the JICA-JAXA Forest Early Warning System in the tropics, JJFAST website, which contribute to measures to reduce deforestation caused by illegal logging as well as human resource development. We believe that the use of geospatial technology in forest management has various possibilities for improving the sophistication and efficiency of management, and we would like to express our sincere appreciation for your ongoing cooperation in this effort. We hope that the result of this workshop will lead to activities for forest conservation in India. In conclusion, I'd like to wish all the participants a successful workshop and all the best for their future endeavors. And I hope more and more active cooperation in the field of forest and forestry between Japan and India. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Kaseki Kazuhiro, for your detailed information about work done with India. Now there's a time for a small break. We'll take a coffee break and then we'll come back. The Director General of Forest Survey of India has already arrived. So we will, after this small break, coffee break, we will come back and then we will hear him as Minister has to leave, I think. So we have to take this break. So I would like to extend my heartiest thanks to all for joining us for this function and the important deliberation. I hope it will take us a long way in managing forests and really harvesting and harnessing the benefit of the forest in both the climate perspective as well as the commercial perspective. So I think with these remarks, I would once again extend my hearty thanks to the Honorable Minister, His Excellency Matsuzawa Yutaka-san, and In absentia, thanks to His Excellency Ambassador C.B. George for guiding us in conceiving this program, and I'm apologizing for on his behalf. He's not been able to hear. My sincere thanks to Mr. Mayank Joshi ji for taking care of today's deliberation and guiding us for the program. My thanks to all, Madam Sin Satkura, Kaname Keda-san, and all, and the participants. So after the break, we will again assemble with the talk from Sri Anup Singh ji, Forest Survey of India, about 15 minutes, plus a video on Indian forest, and then the panel discussion on application of geospatial technology. So I invite you all back to the panel discussion at 3:30. Thank you. So may I request to join for a cup of coffee outside.